It's that time of the week, time for Sun Devil Extra with Graham Rossini, presented by Spring Hill Suites, Phoenix, Scottsdale, Braiden Bell, alongside the fresh, the cool, the sunglass-wearing Graham Rossini. We're here at Phoenix Muni. Vibes are high at springtime in the Valley, and tell you what, this is the place to be this weekend, especially.
Yeah, I can't see right now, so we're Hollywood magic. Have the sunglasses in the pocket. We'll put them to use. Not trying to look cool, just trying to be functional here. So it's springtime in the Valley. I'm proud of us. We're doing the road show.
Well, that's a lot of props need to go to Sean Crespin and his.
I'm proud of all of us.
Yeah,
it's a team effort.
Yeah.
We talked about getting out and about over the course of the year. I think this is venue 4 or 5, and we're just getting started.
We are. Yeah, there could be a show at Mullet Arena maybe in a couple of weeks.
That. Yeah, let's plan for it.
That's what we call a segue. We talk Arizona State hockey to begin the program.
Oh.
And, wow, what a weekend it was against Denver. A couple of real thrillers at Mullet. Overtime loss, which was a tough one on Friday, but then they bounced back with that big-time win on Saturday night. Of course, the game winner coming from Bennett Shimmick, I should say, on Saturday night, that big-time win. Now they're right back, kind of where we've been talking for weeks, Graham, right there in the hunt of the NCHC. Yeah. But what a weekend it was against DU.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I mean, I texted Coach Powers after the Saturday night game and said, I don't think that there's been a more significant weekend of hockey on this campus maybe ever, given what's at stake. And we're in the dogfight for the NCHC regular season title and positioning ourselves for a conference tournament run. And Denver's really good, right? Defending national champ. And we knew that we were going to have our work cut out for ourselves this weekend. We knew that they weren't going to forget the sweep up at Denver at the beginning of the season back in November. And so just really 2 exceptionally well-played hockey games, 2 very physical programs, 2 teams that are very hungry to accomplish. And I think it's very appropriate that, the weekend ends with a split, dramatic overtime wins both nights. We had our heartbroken Friday night.
Yeah.
But redeemed that Saturday night, and just really proud of the fight in these guys. And this program has come together as a unit. They've had some adversity. They've had some starts and stops early in the season, but we're playing our best hockey at the right time of the year, which is what you want to see. And I know that these guys are confident, and they believe in one another. They're proud to represent the Sun Devils, and I can't wait to see what the next 6 weeks bring for Sun Devil hockey.
It was kind of a weekend of overcoming adversity as well. Even that Friday night game, ASU was able to come back from a couple of deficits, force that overtime with a late goal in the third period, and then you could say the same thing of overcoming the adversity coming into Saturday after that heartbreaker on Friday night. Now on the road at Minnesota Duluth, a team that's in the bottom third of the conference, but Graham, as we've talked about time after time, it's such a difficult conference. There are no gimmies, especially on the road, so it's going to be another good test this weekend, but it's getting down to the nitty-gritty time, and it's so much fun. Like you said, this is the most meaningful hockey in the history of this program, and here we are late in the season, still everything on the table.
It's all on the table. It's all there for the taking. And again, to crack in the top 10 in the rankings this week, to be sitting, right second, third, depending on how you look at the standings, but first place is still a weekend away, hopefully. And I'm proud. I'm really proud to see what this program has turned into. It's such a point of pride for the university. Coach Powers had a vision. We're living that reality now. We're crushing it in recruiting because we have everything to offer. We've got elite university, elite place to be, the best conference in America, one of the best barns in America at the same time. And it's now our program is proving that we can get guys to the next level. We have guys playing professional hockey at the highest level. We've got kids that want to be a part of this program. We're in every recruiting conversation. And it's just nice when you feel that momentum behind the work that you're putting into it. It just brings more confidence and more encouragement that we're just getting started. And that's the fun thing to think about, is that we're in the hunt for the conference run. We want to get into that tournament position, continue to climb the pairwise. But I'm very excited about the direction of this program and can't wait to see how this season wraps up. But more importantly, like we saw in football, what a signature season can unlock for a program and a university. I think we're on the doorstep of that.
I don't know if you caught the broadcast this weekend, but a shout out to Sun Devil hockey alum Johnny Walker, who was on the broadcast. Yeah. He was excellent. I was really impressed with what he was able to do with Tyler Bailey on the calls this weekend. Just to kind of update you guys on the standings, because I know it is always changing, ever evolving as the season goes on, of course, but 3 points back as the Devils sit right now of Western Michigan with 3 weekends to go. But the cool part about the schedule, after they take on Minnesota Duluth on the road this weekend, then they face the 2 teams that are in front of them. Western Michigan at home next weekend, which is massive. And then, of course, Omaha in the final regular season weekend of the year. So really, when we say everything's still on the table, it is. The 2 teams barely in front of ASU. The Devils will still see them down the stretch. So that is it's going to be so much fun. We've led the show off talking about hockey now, I think, 3 weeks in a row, but for good reason, because they are right there in the thick of it for a conference title, and what a story it would be. Yep. So good luck to the hockey squad at Minnesota Duluth this weekend. Okay, so we were here at baseball, and we'll cover baseball. Shade's coming off. Yeah,
Shade's coming off.
You have been freed of your blindness. Congratulations, Graham. We'll talk softball now, though. We were over at Club Farrington last week. 3-1 softball team win in the Kachikawa Classic, including a win against a ranked Cal squad. The offense was rolling all weekend long, 9 home runs in 4 games for the Devils. Kelsey Hall, who's a friend of the program now, of course, if you come on the show, you're going to play well. Yep, Grand Slam. A lot of fun, though, at Club Farrington, and I know they get right back to it this weekend, but a good start at 3-1.
Yeah, awesome start. And, I mean, that's a gauntlet, these tournaments that we've taken on hosting, because the country wants to be in Phoenix right now, obviously. Right. And we're happy to welcome in all these different programs. Maybe a little ambitious on the scheduling front. We felt that Saturday with all the games, then we got into a situation where we're just too late to play Minnesota and called that one a no contest. But, you know, to rebound from that loss to Miami, which was a tough played game, and then get the win against ranked Cal on a Sunday, really going in the weekend feeling good about a healthy team, a talented team, a deep team, and really what my takeaway was, this team's fun to watch.
Yeah.
You know, watching Thursday night, I watched the stream from home and recovering from the flu bug a little bit, but had a chance to tune in and watch the game, and just the freshmen and the energy and the talent that they bring to the conversation. And then Kelsey stepping up and getting her back in the lineup, Kenzie Brown coming back in and dominating on the mound. A lot to be encouraged about with the start to Sun Devil softball. And then fast forward this weekend, Littlewood Classic coming back out, more great programs coming down in the Valley. And, you know, it's great that we can get on strong footing at home, play in front of our fan bases, and really get these programs off to a great start.
Yeah, you mentioned Littlewood Classic coming up this weekend. A couple of former conference foes, traditional opponents, if you will. A couple of ranked teams in Oregon and Washington will be in Tempe. They'll take on the Devils throughout the weekend. And you mentioned Kenzie Brown, and it was fun to hear, you know, the expectations last week, and then to see that come into fruition right away. Her weekend, just casual 10 2/3 innings, 19 Ks, did not walk anyone, gave up just 1 earned run. I mean, pretty decent start to your season.
And 2 years on the shelf, right? Like, finally back from these injuries, and then she comes out and strikes out 5 of the first 6 batters that she faces. And, you know, just to be able to snap back into that mindset, it's hard. You know, there's a lot of rehab and mechanics that go into coming back from these injuries, and then you get back between the lines and the stakes are high, and you haven't felt that adrenaline and those competitive juices the same way, and then she's just dotting the mound, 5 out of 6 strikeouts, just like no time had passed at all. And, you know, pitching can carry a softball team, and it's nice that we've got experienced veterans like her back. We've got some freshmen that can really compete, and we need all of it in order to be successful. But again, really encouraging start to the season and fun to get softball underway.
Yeah, you mentioned the grind will continue this weekend, like we said, Littlewood Classic over at Club Farrington. Okay, so here at Muni, we're going to hear from Ben Jacobs, of course, Friday night starter for baseball in just a little bit, as well as head coach Willie Bloomquist. But wanted to talk to Sun Devil baseball alum Graham Rossini about being here, and of course, high hopes, expectations for this program. Picked 5th in the Big 12, but 3 Golden Spikes watch list honorees, which is tied for the most in the country out of any program. There's a buzz in the air. Like, when I walked in here today, like, you can feel it. It's tangible. Yeah. People are really excited about getting the season going on Friday against Ohio State at 6:30.
Yeah, can't wait, right? Like, a lot of excitement around this roster. I think the coaches have done an exceptional job recruiting and also retaining. I mean, there's key talent: Keem Du, Brandon Compton, Ben Jacobs, the guys that, you know, could have gone elsewhere, right, in this era of the transfer portal. And not only wanted to commit to being a part of the rebuild of Sun Devil baseball, but we're active in recruiting other players into the program. And so we've got a deep roster. I think this is the most top-to-bottom complete roster that Coach Bloomquist has had. I'm sure he'll touch on that, but we're deep in the right areas. It's position player, veteran heavy. We've got pitching depth. Our new pitching coach, Jerry McCardo, has just been an unbelievable addition to the program. We had a baseball breakfast club a couple days ago with a number of great baseball donors, and Ben was a guest there. Jeremy was there to talk about just our approach and how we're handling the pitchers, how he's been able to use the Whiteman Family Performance Center. And, I mean, this is a big league pitching coach that's working with our guys now, and there's no replacement for that kind of experience and that kind of ability to take information and mechanics and help these young pitchers make that adjustment that allows them to feel good and execute the strike zone. So I'm biased because I love this program. It's always a great day when we're out at the ballpark, but really excited for the season to start this weekend against Ohio State. And expectations are high, and they should be high. I mean, this is a College World Series or bust program. We're never going to relent on that standard. It's gotten harder to do, admittedly, and it's been a minute since we've been back there, but that'll never waver as the expectation for Sun Devil baseball and all of our sports for that matter. I mentioned this in a radio interview a couple days ago. We're not in this for participation trophies. We're in this for rings and banners and championships in every way that we can find them, and that's no different here out at Muni.
The quest to put a new year up on those boards in right center field will begin on Friday night at 6:30 against Ohio State. But Sun Devil baseball was also in the news earlier this week, and I wanted to kind of get your thoughts, Graham, on obviously the addition to being full scholarship, 34 scholarships for baseball starting in 2026, and then the renovations to Phoenix Muni where we are right now in the years to come. Obviously, it's kind of been known inside the program for a little bit now, but it became public fully this past week, and certainly those are huge things for recruiting and also for fans to add to what is already a great place to watch a ball game.
Yeah, we've got a lot of exciting news on the scholarship front coming out for all of our sports, but we wanted to start to get a few of the specific updates out. Kendall Rogers, who's a really important voice in college baseball, D1Baseball.com, longtime expert in the sport, was able to break that news for us a few days ago. And, yeah, we're going from 11.7 scholarships, which has been the limit in college baseball since 1991, and now have the ability to put all 34 players on the roster moving forward onto a baseball scholarship. And that's significant because not a lot of programs in the country are going to make that investment into college baseball. In our opinion, it's the best way that we can compete now for national talent because we've gotten relevant in NIL. We're going to have access to rev share for baseball and a number of our sports, and we're going to max out the ability to have scholarships where the best players in the country can come here. They don't have to worry about student loans. They don't have to worry about coming out of pocket. They can focus on being a great student, a great teammate, and a great representation of this university. And so I think it's very significant news. It picked up some good speed over the past couple of days. We're excited that Coach Bloomquist and all the assistants can go out and get in every recruiting conversation. Our track record of getting players to professional baseball is second to none. Nobody's had more draft picks. Nobody's had more minor leaguers. Nobody's had more big leaguers. But we still want championships. And we still want players who are hungry to come and represent the maroon and gold, that want to wear that AS proudly on their cap, and they want to go to battle on behalf of the Sun Devils. And so it's important that we give all of our coaches, but particularly in a sport like baseball where there's such a great legacy, a chance to go compete for high-end talent and go get in every conversation and earn the trust and confidence of young families to sign up and come play for ASU.
It's a legacy program, and it means a lot to be a part of it. And we're about to hear from the Friday night starter. Certainly that is quite the honor in itself. Ben Jacobs, a guy who really had a great season in the second half last year, really high up on draft boards as well. He'll be joining us when we come back on Sun Devil Extra.